Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to Judith Plains, Montana, a soon-to-be-released for Farming Simulator 25 map. It is a 4X map, so it is going to be available for PC players only. And I couldn't think of a better map to show off this massive new Plains and Prairies DLC than Judith Plains, Montana, again by DJ Modding. This DLC is $8.99 if you pre-order, $9.99 if you pick it up after release on June 3rd, and it includes 21 vehicles and implements. One of the biggest packs that we have seen to date since Farming Simulator 19. And I have to say, this first video is just going to be a garage tour, and we're just going to look at the various options and take maybe a closer look at each individual piece of machinery during that tour, because again, there's a ton of equipment that is a part of this pack, and there's a ton of details that are available on all of these machines, down to the stickers. And quite frankly, you can read most of these stickers. Let's go ahead and take a look at this stuff in the shop. So we're going to go to mods and DLCs and Plains and Prairies. We're going to start out with the versatile V7 front loader arms, $9,500 to buy. There are no configuration options on this one, but I do have to say that is a pretty rare instance with respect to this DLC. Those front loader arms are going to be used on the Nemesis tractors, $182,500 to buy in its standard configuration. But we can get this anywhere between 195 horsepower and 272 horsepower. We have lots of tire options from Trelleborg, Michelin, Continental, Midas, and Vertestein, BKT as well. We have, for example, standard, medium, wide, narrow tires for Trelleborg, narrow twin rear, or narrow twin all around, rear twin medium tires, twin all around medium tires. And then for Michelin, we once again have our standard tires, medium tires, wide tires, narrow tires, rear narrow twins, twins narrowed all around, rear twin tires medium, standard twin tires, and then we have Continental in standard, wide, rear twins, twins all around. Then we have Midas standard, wide, rear twins, twins all around. We have Vertestein standard, medium, wide, rear twin, twin all around, and BKT wide tires. We can get the front with a 3-point hitch attachment, or we could choose to have no attachment at all, and then we could choose to add various amounts of weight from 40, 80, 120, 160, 200, 240, 280, 320, and 360 kilogram front weights. We do have the option of also adding a front loader attacher, as I mentioned, because the V7 front loader arms are going to be used on this tractor. If you are, of course, playing with precision farming, you can also add the Izera Pro compact sensors. And fully equipped, as we see it here, we're looking at $236,630, but we have a tractor that's 272 horsepower with a top speed of 31 miles per hour. Let's take a closer look at this particular tractor. Take a look inside. We've got some nice digital displays. We have lights. We have beacons. There's our loaders. And that is the Nemesis tractor with the V7 arms. Up next, we're going to take a look at the MFWD from Versatile. $259,500 to buy in its base configuration. We have multiple engine configurations again, from 300 horsepower, 320 horsepower, 340 horsepower, to 370 horsepower, and then finally 400 horsepower. We have again tire options between Trelleborg, Michelin, Continental, Midas, BKT, or Vredestein. Nokian tires are added in here as well. And as far as our tire configurations, for Trelleborg, we have standard, medium tires, wide tires, narrow tires, rear narrow twins all around, rear twins, rear normal twins, and then we have our Michelin standard, medium, narrow, rear narrow twins all around, narrow, rear regular twins, and front and rear twins. Continental standard, medium, wide, rear twins all around. Midas standard, medium, wide, rear twins all around. BKT, got a trend here, standard, medium, wide, narrows, rear narrow twins, rear and front narrow twins, rear regular twins, and twins all around. Vredestein standard, medium, wide, narrow tires, rear narrow twins all around, rear twins, and twins all around. Nokian standard, rear twins all around. And then we also have the option of having 550 kilograms of front weight or no front weight at all. We can go with 120 kilograms, 240 kilograms, 360, 550. We have attachers in EU or US variety. So here we have the EU attachers and my personal favorite, the US drawbar attachments. And of course, if you are playing with precision farming, you do have your Azara Pro compact sensors. As we see equipped here, we're looking at $309,500 for a 400 horsepower tractor. Let's take a closer look at this particular tractor. Outside, I've got this one equipped with rear twin narrows and then single front tires. Lots of lights. We have our beacon, this time a twirling beacon as opposed to a flashing beacon. And really great model detail on both of these tractors. Next, let's take a look at the 976 Versatile and basically the Versatile 976. They're in essence the same tractor, just a different paint color. Both are available for $130,000 in their standard configuration. We have a choice of Trelleborg tires, BKT tires, Michelin tires, Continental, Midas, Vredestein, Nokian, and Trelleborg. We have standard, narrow twins, twins normal, BKT standard, narrow twins, twins, Michelin narrow twins, regular twins, Continental narrow twins and regular twins, Midas narrow twins and regular twins, Vredestein narrow twins and regular twins, Nokian narrow twins and regular. We can add a front weight, and the front weight is actually up underneath the chassis. So when we add the front weight here, you'll see it get added here in 300 kilogram, 900 kilogram, 1300 kilogram increments. And then we can also add a rear weight, 400, 1000, 1600, or 2200 kilogram. And again, with precision farming, we have the Azara Pro that we can add to this particular tractor. As we see it configured here, $138,600 to buy for a 365 horsepower tractor. Again, I have both of these in the versatile paint scheme. This one with single tires, and then the Ford with duals. Lots of cool animations on this particular tractor, including our cooling fan in the front. I want to show you, if you start the engine, we get some nice warning lights that come up here. Like that. Lots of lights. There are flashers and our signals here on the top. Again, the Ford and the Versatile are basically the same, just a different paint. Then we have the 976's bigger brother, the 1156. Again, Ford Versatile and the Versatile itself. They're both the exact same other than paint scheme. We have tire choice of Trelleborg, Michelin, Continental, BKT, Vredestein, Midas, and with our Trelleborg tires, we have standard, we have wide, narrow twin, twins, triple narrows, and standard. Michelin, standard, wide, narrow twins, twins, wider tires, triples, and then Continental, standard, narrow twins, twins, and triples. We have BKT, standard, wide, narrow twins, regular twins, and triples once again. Vredestein, standard, narrow twins, twins, and triples. No tire options on Midas, and then we can add a additional weight. 400 kilograms of additional weight. Here on the rear. I was not seeing that initially. So 2,000, 400, 1,000, 1,600, 2,000. And again, we can add our Azara Pro to this if we do have precision farming enabled. Overall, we've got a tractor, 470 horsepower on the 1156 variant. I've got this one, again, in regular duals on our Versatile. And then I have it in a triple tire configuration on the Ford. And I want to point out the incredible detail on these graphics. Here we have the lubrication chart, and we can see exactly where we need to lubricate and at how many hours. For example, for the driveline TransUnions, we know we need to basically service that at 250 hours. A little bit more of a modern LCD display on this one. And lots of cool animations on this particular tractor as well. Including our radiator fan. More really great details on these stickers. Be sure to check the belt tension weekly. Then we have the versatile 1080 Big Roy, a 600 horsepower tractor. This has pretty much no configuration options unless you have precision farming enabled. Then you do have the ability to add the sensor to that. This quad axle tractor is right here. Really interesting setup. And when you get into this particular tractor, you'll see that the ladders fold in. I do wish that this screen was dynamic, but we have a static TV screen there, which is basically intended to be showing you the camera from the rear camera here. And lots of really neat animations going on up even inside in the engine compartment. We have the Delta Track from, again, Versatile. We have it in options in the Delta Track 530 DT, which is 583 horsepower, 580 DT, which is 638 horsepower, and the 620 DT at 665 horsepower. Our configuration options for our track are standard track or wide track. And of course, we can add our Azara Pro sensors. This tractor is definitely intended to rival the Quad Track or the John Deere 9 RX. Wrong one. Take a look at our lights. No beacon on this one. But we're not done. If we go back here to our Plains and Prairies DLC, we still have more vehicles to look at. In the Fendt Rogator 900, this self-propelled fertilizer sprayer, solid fertilizer spreader, is going to be base priced at $409,000 to buy. And we have 3 different sprayer configurations. Here we have the liquid sprayer configuration with a 27-meter boom width, or we can configure it with the fertilized spreader. It's going to have a 20-meter working width with our spreading discs, or we could change it to the AirMax R2 fertilizer spreader with 21-meter boom. And this is also going to work with solid fertilizer. We have multiple engine configurations. The Rogator 932 at 315 horsepower with a 934 at 339 horsepower. We then also have the 934H. Well, the only difference between the H and the non-H variant is the placement of these lights. H, they're placed high on stalks. Non-H, they're placed here just above the wheels. So here you can see the lights there. If we toggle over to H, those lights have now been removed up here to stalks. One there and one there. Then we have the 937 and the 937H at 365 horsepower. We have tire options in Trelleborg, Michelin, BKT, Continental, Midas, Vredestein, Nokian. We have Trelleborg Narrows, wide. We have Michelin Narrow and wide. We have BKT Narrow and wide. We have Continental wide, Midas wide, Vierstein wide, and Nokian wide. And of course, we do have our Azara Pro sensors that we can add if we are playing with precision farming. I have it configured here with the air boom. Just take a look at some of these details here. We've got airbags, suspension. You can almost walk directly underneath this without having to duck. And another cool component that has been added to this DLC is the rolling and unrolling of the covers. So there we have that. No longer do we have the instant covered, instant uncovered. We now have a nice smooth animation going across for pretty much anything and everything that is covered. Really neat animations with our unfolding of our air boom. And again, this is going to work with solid fertilizer. The last vehicle that we have in our pack is going to be the International LT Semi. And well, just like semis in real life, the configuration options are nearly limitless. We have the ability to go from day cab to high-rise sleeper to a sky-rise sleeper. We have engine setups in the LT 370, 400, 430, 450, 470, 515 configuration, topping out at, again, 515 horsepower. We can have front mirrors or no. We can also have a sunshade or no. We can have a small tank, which is going to give us 265 liters worth of fuel. Medium tank at 378 liters of fuel. Or a big tank at 554 liters worth of fuel. We can change our color. And we can change our rim color. So lots of cool configuration options for that. Here we have it in the day cab. And I also have already configured in the high-rise sleeper. So let's go take a look at that. Just got to get around this giant air cart. So here we have the high-rise sleeper. Really great details on all of this stuff. And well, while we're attached to the high-rise sleeper, let's talk about the Trout River live bottom rear lift trailer, which is what we have configured here. And it's already set up in its rear lift configuration. You lower this thing down, pull up the shop. So $103,500 to buy. This thing's going to hold 36,400 liters worth of product, and it's basically going to hold any bulk fill type that you have available on the map. Take a look at configuration options. Pretty basic on this one. We can change the color, and we can change the rim color. And there you go. The way this is going to work is we're going to left click and move the mouse up. You see the frame kind of shifts forward, and then we could force unload, where we now have the live bottom roller belt, and then the gate opens up a little bit. This would be perfect to load into For example, our fertilizer spreader or our other equipment like our seed hoppers or anything else where you'd rather use a bucket, you can now use your rear lift semi-trailer. But that's not the only semi-trailer that we have available to us here in this DLC. Let's open our tarp up. See the animation on that one. We also have the Gia semi-trailer. Let's take a look at that in the shop. It is the STR 447, $126,000 to buy. It's going to hold 39,800 liters worth of slurry or digestate, and its intention is to basically transport your slurry and digestate down the road to your spreaders. The only configuration option on this is going to be your rim color. This particular trailer does have some other interesting functions. If we left click and move the mouse left or right, you'll see that it will detach this filling pipe. And then we can move the mouse up and down to raise and lower this pipe. What's interesting is no matter what position the pipe's in, when we swing back to the left, once we're in position, it's just going to auto kind of set itself where it needs to be. You can also left click and right click, and that's going to open and close. I don't know if I can demonstrate. There you can see it. That's going to open and close the top here, and in theory that's where you would load this particular tanker. So you could role play opening it, loading it, closing it, and then running down the road. You're going to want to use this if you have to travel more than a short distance in order to use the other Gia trailers that are available in this pack. They include the Gia EL 48-6D 4800 for $75,500, or its larger brother, the EL 48-8D 7900. Both of these basically have the same configuration options. So if we see one, we'll see the other. We have Trelleborg tires, Michelin tires, BKT tires, Vredestein tires. We have attacher type US. So we have that attacher right here, or EU. Now we have kind of a ball hitch or a pin hitch. And again, if you have the Precision Farming mod installed, we can add the manure sensor to either of these. And we have a choice of rim color as well. Like I said, configuration options are basically the same between both of these. This one's just going to hold 35,900 liters worth of product versus a smaller one at 21,800 liters worth of product. Both of these trailers also have another trick. With the Z button on keyboard, we can raise and lower the front lift axle. Right, so we can raise it to make kind of steering and getting around easier, and then we can lower it when it's time to transport down the road in a loaded configuration option. And then if we hit X to unfold the spray booms, you'll see they both kind of swing out. And now we have our working width with our spray booms swung out. Now that's not the only way to fertilize with this pack. We've already talked about the Fendt Rogator 900. We've talked about the two slurry spreaders. Well, we also have the Salford 9620 Air Boom Applicator. This is going to work with solid fertilizer and it's going to have a working width of 22 meters. Starting price is $196,500. We have a choice of Trelleborg tires, Michelin tires, Continental tires, Midas tires, VKT tires, Vertestein tires. So lots of tire configurations here and 18,700 liters worth of solid fertilizer. 360 horsepower is going to be the power requirement for this particular spreader as well. So let's take a look at that. Just like we've seen with other things that have tarps, we will be able to unroll this one. And we can unfold this by swinging out the boom. And we have really cool details like numbered boom outlets all the way up to 32. Once it's time to bring in the harvest, though, well, you're going to want to use something big, like this Brandt auger wagon. We have the 2500 DXT. It's capable of holding 88,000 liters worth of product. It's going to require 500 horsepower because this bad boy is going to be very heavy when fully loaded. Our only configuration option is going to be our main color. And again, just like we've already seen, we can unroll the tarp. This has got a really neat animation with respect to the unroll arm there. We can extend out the auger. Left click up and down is going to move the output. Right click up and down is going to shift the entire pipe. This thing even makes the Big Roy look dwarf. We also have a massive Salford cultivator in the Independent Series 1260. 18 meter working width, 11 mile per hour working speed, and a 600 horsepower working requirement for this beast. Field work will take no time at all with this large implement. Let me just show you how this thing unfolds real fast. Two sections on either side and then the center section. There you go. That's going to get your field work done in no time flat. Really cool animations also with respect to the folding and unfolding of this. And it's done when the tires bump. There we are. Nice, satisfying click. Just a few more items left in this pack. Can you believe it? We have the Batterstad Tempo K24 planter. 365 horsepower requirement on this. It's going to have seed, and liquid fertilizer. And it's going to plant all of our standard planter crops with an 18-meter working width. We have no real configuration options on this particular planter. Now this one's kind of interesting because it does have a little auger there on the rear in order to fill the seed hopper. And if we hit N to open the cover, we'll see the auger switch to the side a little bit. And then we would use something like our trailer, our auger wagon, a bucket, a telehandler, or maybe another auger in order to load this particular seeder with seed. Then when we unfold it, the whole thing then shortens up as everything swings around, and we're off to the races. Really neat, kind of complex animations going on here. Then the last two items in the pack is the Seedhawk 84 seeder and the PD 1000 air cart. The air cart's going to hold 35,315 liters worth of seed and solid fertilizer. It's going to attach to the rear of the Seedhawk 84 seeder. It's going to have a working width of 25.6 meters, working speed of 7 miles per hour, and it's going to require a pretty hefty tractor at 550 horsepower. Here you can see where those seed pipes are going to connect. $312,500 for that, and $345,500 for our air cart. We have standard tires or rear twins. That's pretty much going to be the only configuration option we have between the air cart and its seeder. Now, longtime players of Farming Simulator know that we've had an air cart like this in the past. We've had a big Seedhawk also like this in the past. But if you're new to Farm Sim, then maybe this is the first time you have seen these two pieces of machinery. When you buy these, you buy them separate with our seeder here and then the air cart. And you're going to want to hook up to the seeder and back it up to the air cart. Just like this. The air cart is a dolly, so it is going to be maybe a little difficult to back up if you're not familiar with that process. And if we hit N, we have a large auger that will swing out, the door will open up, and now we can fill our seed and fertilizer. We can hit N to shift to the back set of hoppers, and then N once more to collapse everything up. Then we're going to unfold this. And off to the races we would go with respect to our seeding operation. And that, folks, is pretty much our garage run through of everything that is included with the Plains and Prairies DLC. Come back for our second video where we're actually going to take and put all of this stuff to use and see it operate in the field, see how we load these things with respect to seed, fertilizer, lime, not lime, slurry, digestate, and the like here on Judith Plains, Montana. Again, this is going to be a 4X map that's going to be coming to PC players in the very near future if you don't already have the Plains and Prairies DLC. If you don't already have the Year 1 Season Pass. And looking through our garage trailer here, our garage video, seeing the configuration options, getting a quick look at all of this machinery, if that's got you maybe wanting to go ahead and pre-order that. If you are on PC, I would appreciate you using my affiliate link down in the description below. It's going to get it to you for $8.99 if you pre-order between now or launch on June 3rd. And I do get a little bit of a kickback on that, and it does help me move to become a gold partner. If you're on console, you will need to pick this up from your respective console store. If you have the Year 1 Season Pass, then you already own it. You don't have to worry about it. If you want to pick up the Year 1 Season Pass, same story is going to prevail. If you are on PC, I've got an affiliate link down in the description. If you're on any other platform, then you'll be able to pick it up through your associated platform store. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below with respect to the Plains and Prairies DLC. Is this something that you are eager to get playing with? Do you like playing with big machinery? Do you like playing on big 4X American style maps? Then I think all of this equipment is going to be right up your alley because it's going to make a lot of field work lickety split. Until next time, happy farming.